Production support for award-winning News 6 has come from Whirlpool Corporation's Finley Division, working to make your life a little easier. Additional support has come from the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation and from this public television station.
Hello, I'm Travis Short from Stryker, Ohio. Today on News 6, we'll meet a man who loves bells, learn about a traditional craft, and meet a little girl with a big voice.
Only tenderness can buy.
Hi, and welcome to News 6. I'm Jason Mack from Stryker Elementary School in Stryker, Ohio. Here with our first story is Nicole Swally.
Dawn Marie Burkholder doesn't have to wait until she's older to start a career. She's got one now as a country singer, even though she's only 14 years old.
Dawn, could you tell us how old you were when you started singing?
When I started singing, I was about 8 years old.
How did you start singing for groups?
I started singing for groups at my father's company Christmas party, which he has every year. And when I was 8 years old, it was the first year that he let me go to one of them. And they usually have a country band there. And they had gotten me Loretta Lynn tapes when I was younger, and I would go down in our basement and sing along with them. And I didn't know that they were listening to me, but they would sneak to the top of the stairwell and listen to me sing. And one year, they invited me to come to their company Christmas party. And they told the band that they wanted me up there to sing. So they got me up there and I sang one song, and from then on I've been singing.
Where are some of the places you've sung?
Mainly all over for different activities or church activities, fairs and such like that.
Does singing affect your school activities?
No, I really don't let it, shall I say. We have a calendar in our kitchen, and if I think I want to go somewhere for school, I write it down, and if there's someone calls for a singing arrangement to have me sing somewhere, I'll write that down on a different date or something, I'll just kind of coordinate them.
What's the most exciting thing that happened while you were performing?
The most exciting thing had to be when I sang on my first Loretta Lynn show, and that was when I was 12 years old, and it was I think it was Muncie, Indiana. And it was at a summer show. She was singing at the fair, and I got to come on as a guest on her show.
Have you found a recording company?
No, I haven't yet. I've been, as they say, shopping around for a recording company and to back me up. And I really haven't heard too much yet.
What are your future plans?
Future plans? I think right now at the moment, my future plans are to get a recording company to back me. And then from there, just take it as it comes.
Thank you, Dawn, for talking to us about your singing career.
Today's show is being produced by Mrs. Virginia Meyer's 6th grade class at Stryker Elementary School. Stryker is located about 18 miles north of Defiance and was founded in 1853. The town's current population is about 1,400.
Traditional rug hooking is a craft that many people enjoy. We talked with a lady from our town who has been rug hooking for 17 years and has made many beautiful rugs.
Mrs. Lehman, how did you get started and how long have you been hooking?
I have always been interested in all kinds of art and crafts, and I braided rugs for several years. And we have a Bryan Times paper in a little town, Bryan, Ohio, about 8 miles from here, and they have a Parks and Recreation program for adults in the evening, and they advertised that they were going to have one in traditional rug hooking. And it was a very small fee, and I went, and they had a certified teacher, and it proved to be very interesting, and that was 17 years ago, and I've been rug hooking ever since.
Is there more than one kind of hooking?
Yes, there is. We are very fussy about calling this traditional rug hooking, doing it the old-fashioned way, dyeing our wool and cutting our wool. And there's also a latchet hooking, you know, with yarn where the little strips are already cut and the colors are already chosen. And there's also a punch needle that goes very fast. And of course, this is the old-fashioned kind like our ancestors did, and it takes a long time, and we do it the same way that they did in the early 18th century.
What equipment do you use?
You have to have some kind of a frame. I have a fancy frame here. It's called a Puritan frame, and it costs about $80, but you don't have to have this. You can use a hoop, or you can use a handmade frame if someone will make you one. And you have to have a foundation, which is burlap. They used to use old feed sacks. And you have to have wool. We use 100% wool and cut and dye the strips. And a hook of some kind. They used to use an old nail bent, and now we have all kinds of fancy hooks.
Do you have a favorite piece?
Yes, I do. I have a Wildflower Trellis. It was designed by a designer in the East, and it has wildflowers, and I'm very fond of flowers, and it took me a good year to do it, and I'm very fond of it.
Just in back of our school lives a man who really loves bells. He started collecting them after he retired, and you'll find bells in almost every room of his home.
Mr. Strong, how did you become interested in collecting bells?
Well, when I was a boy out on the farm, all work was done with horses, and nearly everyone had a farm bell or a dinner bell. And that was very interesting to me. And when I was at one of the neighbors that had one, and it's time to ring the bell at noon or evening when it was called farmers in from the fields, if I had a chance to ring that bell, I thought that was really something.
Where did you get some of your bells?
Oh, at auctions, and many of them was given to me, and at antique shops, I bought some.
Are there any bells that you think are really unique?
Yes, I have one string of sleigh bells that is the 0 sleigh bells. That's the smallest one made, and very rare because some of them called them pony bells.
Which bell is your favorite?
Well, I might say that dinner bell out there by the back porch of our house is handed down from about 3 generations, so I prize that bell highly.
Mr. Strong says that the bells are not rung very often anymore because he needs a lot of people to ring them. And our class volunteered to be his ringers, so here we go.
That's all for this week's show. Join us next time when News 6 travels to Old Fort, Ohio.
Production support for award-winning News 6 has come from Whirlpool Corporation's Finley Division, working to make your life a little easier. Additional support has come from the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation and from this public television station.